Hi, my name is Stephen Williams, and today I'm going to be doing my presentation on nootropics. Now, nootropics are drugs. We can define them as drugs that make you smarter. If you delve a little deeper, you start talking about neurotransmitters, neuron and synapse generation, hippocampal volume, and a whole lot of other stuff I don't really understand well enough to explain. It's not really important. What I can say is, anecdotally at least, they do work. And whether or not it's a placebo effect or the drug's actually doing what they're supposed to, the end result's the same. That is, I believe that I'm smarter for taking them. And is there really such a thing as being too smart? So I'm going to focus on American ginseng, which is classified as a nootropic itself. It's also known as Panax quinquefolius. So in my study, they draw upon a previous study done on Asian ginseng, also known as Panax ginseng, which has evidence to support that it has cognitive enhancing potential. However, while Asian American ginseng have ginsenosides in common, and ginsenosides are the active property of ginseng, American ginseng's ginsenoside profile is distinct. So up to the point of the study, there's actually not been any experimentation on American ginseng, really at all. And the reason for that is it hasn't been extracted strictly enough for, I guess, to meet scientific standards. So besides the nootropic effects of the ginsenosides themselves, they test its mood-enhancing potential and its effect on blood glucose levels. There's been research that suggests that the rate at which blood glucose falls is positively correlated with increased cognition. So, drawing on the evidence of Asian ginseng potential to increase cognitive aptitude, it is predicted that American ginseng will also increase cognitive aptitude. Furthermore, it is predicted that American ginseng will have positive effects on mood. The study is randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled crossover study. That is, the testers and randomly chosen testees are not made aware of anything that may influence the outcome of the test, and they tested results with the placebo, 100 milligrams, 200 milligrams, and 400 milligrams of American ginseng. The battery of tests they used were from the Computerized Mental Performance Assessment System, or COMPASS for short. They test attention, working memory, secondary memory, and executive function. I don't have the time to go over every test per se. However, they're very similar to the games you would play on Luminosity.com. The mood was assessed using visual analog scales. If you've ever been in the ER and they ask you how much pain you're in, and on the left-hand side they have a smiley face, not much pain at all, and right-hand side they have a really frowny face, in total pain, agonizing, whatever. But instead of like how much pain you're in, they ask questions like how are you feeling. One side is calm, and all the way up to some point and including excited. So the data itself was measured using statistical analysis. More specifically, they measured the difference between baseline scores and scores of placebo, 100, 200, and 400 milligrams at 1, 3, and 6 hours using general linear model ANOVA, which in short measures if there is a difference of the expected value of 2 or more groups. Using the statistical analysis, it was discovered that there was significant improvements in a number of the cognitive tests when compared to placebo, and on mood, specifically on self-rated calmness. As for the blood glucose measurement, there was no significant change from the ginseng itself. So what does this all mean? Well, it's predicted that American ginseng can improve cognition and mood and may produce changes in blood glucose levels. What we infer by this data is that since the statistical analysis shows significant improvements in certain cognitive tests, there's evidence to confirm that the hypothesis for improved cognition may be true. However, since there was no significant changes in blood glucose, we can deductively disconfirm the hypothesis that changes in blood glucose levels are the reason why American ginseng has nootropic effects. Lastly, there's evidence that confirms the hypothesis that American ginseng can promote better mood, at least for its possible anxiolytic effects. Now, when you look at the data points for the calmness promoting effects, At time 1 hour, there's very little difference between the placebo and any of the strengths of American ginseng. However, at 3 and 6 hours is when they begin to vary both with the other data points and with themselves at other times in the day. With the 400 milligram strength actually showing a very slight increase in anxiety, the 200 milligram being very similar to the placebo, and the 100 milligram strength showing improved calmness. My hypothesis is that mood is affected by time of day and not by the drug itself. This could lead to mild underdetermination because the evidence supports both hypotheses. Let's consider the two opposing hypotheses from the standpoint of a crucial experiment. Hypothesis 1, American ginseng causes change in relative calmness. Hypothesis 2, time of day causes change in relative calmness. Prediction 1, American ginseng would show significant changes in calmness for all amounts taken. Prediction 2, placebo would vary with time of day. Observation, placebo varies with time of day. Thus, confirm hypothesis 2 and reject hypothesis 1. However, add in the auxiliary hypothesis that in order for time of day to affect change in calmness, you need to be able to observe nature via a window, for example. Assume the study was done in a windowless room. Thus, hypothesis 1 is not rejected and neither hypothesis is disconfirmed. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you. Bye.